Welcome back. On today's episode, Erwin believes that Enoch was a human who ascended into heaven and became Metatron. No, I'm not talking about the sci-fi short story that I'm writing. I'm talking about some Old Testament and some Apocrypha. Because the Vatican says, no, no. But the Ethiopians be like, damn, Enoch. No joke. So we're getting straight into it. It's only been 9 months since I uploaded. But President Trump decided that he was going to say some mean things about big tech. So big tech's like, oh, well, all your people are banned. So I'm kind of banned from politics at the moment. What a strange synchronicity. I was wanting to get back to this, and now I can't do political videos. There's only one kind of video I could do. So we're here. Let's recap about the fallen angels. Who are they? What were they? And how can we benefit? And there were in all 200, just 200? 200 bros causing all the problems in the world now? Some weird demons. They descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. Yep, descended from heaven to a mountain. Very common in mythology. Just saying, maybe it sounds a little aliens. That's all I'm saying. And, you know, they saw some fine ass bitches and they was like, damn. And then fine ass bitches became pregnant and they bear great giants. Some big boys. Whose height was 300 ells. Lowercase or uppercase? Who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, they began to riot for loot televisions. I know, well, no, I can't talk politics. The giants turned against them and devoured mankind. But they ate us? I loved you, giant. I thought we were friends. And then they ate me. I thought we were cool. And then they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish. Were they fucking goats? Were they fucking goats? Apparently these giants were Muslim. And they began to sin against the birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish. Maybe, though, they weren't fucking fish. Maybe they were making weird hybrid chimera monsters and using them as slaves. A lot of people do past life regressions and then hypnosis and end up in times of Atlantis, and apparently that's what was going on. So maybe they weren't fucking salamanders. I don't know. And they also began to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. They're in orange. Right here. That's super highlighted. Devour one's flesh and drink their blood. What? What is going on? This is not the sci-fi short story I'm working on, right? Okay, though. Okay. And then Azazel with some fun little symbols above some letters. Azazel, that's probably how that's pronounced, taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments. Oh, God. Give us a sword. But necklaces? Eternal damnation. And ornaments. And the use of antimony? What is that? And the beautifying of the eyelids. The gods came down to teach us how to look like whores. And all kinds of costly stones. Zazzle, you Jewish? Nope, we're talking spirituality. And all coloring tinctures. And have pretty dresses. So you can look like whores. And there arose much godlessness. Because of the whoring. And they committed fornication, I told you. And they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. Put a little rouge on. Simjaza taught enchantments. It's a little different than beautifying the eyelids. And root cuttings. What? Enchantments? And root cuttings. What's that department called? Armoros, the resolving of enchantments. Him and Sim probably didn't get along very well. Bjarikajil taught astrology. Astronomy? No, astrology. Wonder if the gigantic magnetic planets have anything to do with us. Wonder if their giant gravitation does anything. I wonder. No, probably not. Kokabil, the constellations. Why does the astrology person not teach the constellations? Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Arachiel, the signs of the earth. Shamsiel, the signs of the sun. And Sariel, the course of the moon. The astrology and constellation guys can't cover that. We continue. Then God, we can't call him God in the Old Testament. We gotta call him something real fruity like, the Most High, the Holy and Great One spoke. Can we just call him Dad? Sent Uriel to the son of Lamech and said to him, go to no one, tell him in my name. Hide thyself and reveal to him the end that is approaching. We're talking about 2020? That the whole earth will be destroyed. Yeah, we're talking about 2020. And a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth and will destroy all that is on it. Yeah, we are definitely talking about 2020. People, we've had more than a couple mass extinction events. Just throwing it out there. Maybe let's try to avoid this one that is coming at us at great speed. Whew. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. God's like, get that jizz. We need that jizz. Yeah, Angel, go get the jizz. Uriel's like, why am I always on jizz duty? This is a spiritual channel. We're family friendly here. Why did I do all this highlighting? Everyone look. I did all this highlighting for you, not to make it easier for me. Come here. Look pretty. Look pretty. God commands Raphael to imprison Azazel. He made them into whores and taught them war. Bind Azazel hand and foot and cast him into the darkness. And in the darkness bind him and make an opening in the desert, which is Dudael, God's kettle / crucible / cauldron. God's a blacksmith now, forging us all into swords, flaming swords like Archangel Michael. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire. This God is badass. Jesus and Buddha, screw your gods. I like the vengeful, warlike God. So now we're talking about Enoch, my bro. Enoch. Appears in the Book of Genesis. In the Pentateuch. It's just like Torah. The Book of Genesis. As the 7th of the 10 pre-deluge patriarchs. Patriarch. Genesis recounts that each of the pre-flood patriarch lived for several centuries. Centuries, that's 10 years, right? It's 100 years? They live for hundreds of years? Okay. Enoch is considered by many to be the exception. He is said to not see death. This is a sci-fi book I'm writing? No? It's the Old Testament? Okay. The brief account of Enoch in Genesis 5 ends with the cryptic note that he was not, for God took him. God took him! God abducted Enoch. Straight up. Straight up. Is there an arrest warrant out for God? These recount how Enoch... Oh, this is the apocryphal books of Enoch. Vatican's not going to be happy. These recount how Enoch was taken up to heaven and was appointed guardian of all the celestial treasures. Celestial treasures. Chief of the archangels. Dang. Those archangels must have been pissed. You're bringing a CEO from outside the company and stuff. Competent son of a gun. He's not going to last 10 days. And the immediate attendant on the throne of God. We'll have to get in the throne of God in a whole nother episode. The throne of God. Why does God have a throne? I'm assuming that throne probably looked kind of like the captain's chair in Star Trek. Just throwing it out there. Celestial treasures. He was subsequently taught all secrets and mysteries. And with all the angels at his back, fulfills of his own accord whatever comes out of the mouth of God. So, God, he can't just be like, hey guys, get your crap together. And we're like, oh damn. Whoa. Did you hear and feel that? We should probably do that. No, he's got to be like, yeah, Enoch. Yeah. I'm going to need you to answer on the first ring. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm going to need you to tell them degens down there. No, it's... Enoch was God's secretary, yes. Executing his decrees. Yes, God likes things to be executed, as we all know. Much esoteric literature, like the 3 Enoch, identifies Enoch as the Metatron. The angel which communicates God's word. Do I have any more? Septuagint? In early Christianity, use of the Book of Enoch as a divinely inspired text was widespread, since the canon had not yet been established definitively in the church. And as we all know, the Vatican has Christians good above all else. That's why they hide all their secrets from the Library of Alexandria. There also seems to be 2 Metatrons. Here's where things get interesting. One spelled with 6 letters and one spelled with 7. The former may be the transformed Enoch, Prince of the Countenance, within the Divine Palace. Divine Palace. Sounds a lot like a celestial palace. Yeah, the palaces that the Asian gods would fly through the sky in. Those kind of palaces, baby. Honestly, maybe not. Divine Palace, there are a lot of other dimensions, higher dimensions and stuff. Maybe that's what we're talking about. I think so. At first, I think Enoch probably was just straight up abducted by aliens. Abducted. But then I think he kind of ascended. I think is what's going on. So at first he probably was within a celestial palace, but then it probably became more of a divine palace situation. The latter, the primordial Metatron, an emanation of the cause of causes. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The cause of causes came first. Specifically, the 10th and last emanation identified with the earthly divine presence. So I start talking new agey stuff, and I feel like it's so jargony and sci-fi, and everyone must think I'm super right and super cool. I am. Just look at me. But But then I read this stuff and it's like, okay, I feel a little bit safer in my beliefs, a little less out there. Scholars commonly see the character of Metatron as being based on an amalgam of Jewish literature, in addition to Enoch, Michael, Melchizedek, and Yahuwah, among others, are seen as influences. So here's the thing with all this old stuff. It's kind of hard to know what's going on, because a lot of things kind of get combined. A lot of things were like legit explanation, but then it became more metaphorical, and then the metaphors changed around, and sometimes it's just symbology, sometimes it's literal. So I'm going to be wrong about a lot. We're doing the best we can. I'm using Wikipedia here, okay? So I'm allowed to be wrong. And I'm going to use Wikipedia for all this, because if I can prove this stuff with Wikipedia, I can prove this stuff with anything. They are not on our side. Enoch is assigned titles commonly used by Metatron, such as the Youth, the Prince of the Presence, and the Prince of the World. Don't tell Jesus, he's going to be pissed. He's the Prince of the World. These highly spiritual beings are very concerned about their hierarchy and titles. Which, yeah, Metatron became the lesser Yahweh with a V instead of a W. And his name and gematria, I'll get to it later. Them Jews, their language, probably not of this earth. Haggidah 15a describes Elisha ben Abuya in paradise. This an alien ship or this heavenly abode? I don't know. Seeing Metatron sitting down, an action that is not done in the presence of God. Yeah, God is like the manager when you like lean up against a wall to like tie your shoe, and they're like, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Oh, you got time to sit down? Well, why don't you go create a galaxy if you got so much time on your hands? I created 2 just last week. God is such a dick. Can't figure out why a bunch of young people are like, Christianity's stupid. What, you don't want an asshole for a God? You don't want a Karen / the hard ass boss for a God? I'm telling you, I need to speak with your manager. God is not only Karen, God is also the manager. Why are young people not down with Christianity? Don't they want to be punished for their sins? Metatron was sitting down. You're getting a write-up, Metatron. Elisha ben Abuya therefore looks to Metatron as a deity and says, heretically, there are indeed 2 powers in heaven. The rabbis explain that Metatron had permission to sit because of his function as the heavenly scribe, writing down the deeds of Israel. God is Karen and the Metatron, God is Karen and the manager, and Metatron is his secretary. Also head of the archangels. So they're like undersecretaries. The Talmud states, it was proved to Elisha that, we're getting big for this one. It was explained. Or no, it was proved to Elisha that Metatron could not be a second deity by the fact that Metatron received 60 strokes with a fiery rod to demonstrate that Metatron was not a god, but an angel and could be punished. God, we're punishing angels to prove that they can be punished. God, why? What? Why, God? They're your angels. And someone's like, "Oh man, you're a badass." And God's like, "No, I'm the badass. Lash him. Give him 60 lashes. Prove that I'm the I'm the big boss. I'm the big dog. God's like, these, who needs a devil? Jeebus. Fiery rods. What? Furthermore, as an angel, Metatron has no power to pardon transgressions, nor was he to be received even as a messenger of forgiveness. But like he judged the fallen angels and stuff. The Talmud hypothesizes as to how God spends his day. God, tell us. I bet it's a good one. Let's get big again. Here in purple, it is suggested that in the fourth quarter of the day, the fourth quarter of the day, God has the same days as us, 24 hours, day and night cycle, as we all know. And in the fourth quarter of that day, he's hitting a bowl, watching some YouTube. He sits. No one else gets to sit. God sits, hits the bowl with some good shit. Some real good shit. And he instructs the school children. Oh, God, where was I at? Oh, shit, I'm fucking hungry. Let's go eat some humans. Some fucking giants had it figured out. And the school children, I'm going to instruct school children. Oh, God, man, what did you put in that? On the preceding 3 quarters, Metatron may take God's place, or God may do this among other tasks. Wait, are you telling me that Metatron's not only a secretary, he's the substitute teacher as well? Okay. It's normal. Can't believe why people call this myth and think it's all made up. No, there's truth there. Knowing this, we're guessing at what may have gone on. The book describes, but this is the Merkaba Zohar and other mystical writings. Vatican, not a fan. The book describes the link between Enoch, son of Jared, great-grandfather of Noah, and his transformation into the angel Metatron. His grand title, the Lesser Yahweh, resurfaces here. The word Metatron is numerically equivalent to Shaddai, which is the name of God. Obviously, God has a name that we can pronounce. In Hebrew, gematria, which is like each letter is represented by a number. And you thought writing was hard. Imagine all your letters had to equal certain numbers and stuff, too. This is legit, though. Names are powerful. Your name, even if you're not a fan of it, like this guy. I mean, my name is Erwin. It is. It's on my license, I swear. Your name is important. Names have power. That's the whole idea of like Native Americans or, Aborigine or whatever, not wanting their picture taken, not wanting you to know their name and stuff. Yeah. There's power in that. God bless it. I'm so glad I don't have to count. I'm just neurotic enough to count every letter. No. Therefore, he is said to have a name like his master. So he's the Lesser Yahweh. I'm not a huge fan of Yahweh. It seems like maybe Yahweh was like a good group of ETs at first, and then maybe another group took over that name, pretended to be Yahweh. Hashtag Yahweh not my God. That's all I'm saying. Love me some actual creator of the universes. I don't think Yahweh is that pro. Now, maybe we've just got things screwed up. Yahweh was high ascended being, very close to godness. Maybe. But that doesn't sound like the sort of person, sending plagues on Egypt, killing firstborn. I read plenty of spiritual books. Turns out you're not supposed to kill people, especially for no reason whatsoever. You're hurting our people, so we're going to murder all your firstborn. Yeah, it sounds reasonable, God. this Enoch, whose flesh was turned to flame, his veins to fire, his eyelashes to flashes of lightning, his eyeballs to flaming torches. His eyelashes were lightning, and his eyeballs were flaming torches. So glad I don't have to video edit that. All right. And whom God placed on a throne next to the throne of glory. He made a smaller throne. It had made sure it was much smaller, because God's got quite the ego on him. Received after this heavenly transformation the name Metatron. Megatron? No. Metatron. Flesh was turned to flame, veins to fire, yada yada. This is probably when he ascended. This wasn't just going up in the celestial chariots. This was some divine palace action, I'm guessing. Became archangel of sorts. Good job, bro. Well done. Now, maybe get God to lay off the weed a little bit, because something's not going right up there. Do we have more? Oh yes, we're basically done with our teachings for the day. But wait, no, this isn't. Oh, I skipped all the craziness. Well, we're out of time anyways. The Book of Enoch and all that it's so sci-fi. All the chapters and stuff. Oh my god, What did we learn today, kids? We learned that God has a secretary. And he needs to speak with your manager.